So, of course, we all know we were told it was going to be a shutdown for 2 weeks, and then it went on for more than a year, and then our kids were virtually learning. And so that was a big struggle for so many kids and so many families. But an unintended consequence, it led to some more online cheating because kids were Googling answers and everyone was getting the same answers wrong. So Sarah Harbison, the CEO and founder of Application Nation, is joining us right now to discuss this one. Good morning to you.
Hi, Karen.
So specifically, like say out of Texas, there was an instance where they had all of the students and everybody was getting just the same answers wrong. And they became aware the kids were answering faster than it would take to read the question itself. How widespread is this problem?
I've been hearing it from a lot of students and a lot of parents and a lot of college counselors too. I work mostly with students who are going to be applying to college, and that can catch up to them. There's a lot of cheating and lying in college admissions as well. We saw that with the Varsity Blues admission scandal in 2019. And colleges are really trying to ramp up their verification processes. So if the high schools aren't doing it, sometimes the students could get caught up when they apply to colleges.
So it was a rough year, though, for kids. I mean, I don't want to give anybody a pass for doing something you're not supposed to be doing, but I think a lot of kids didn't learn as much as they would in a normal year just due to the circumstances. It was difficult to teach and difficult to learn.
That's true, and we are seeing this with students who are taking the AP exams. May is a big month for AP exams, and a lot of students were really concerned because they weren't prepared going into these exams. AP scores are not technically required by most colleges for the admissions process, but a lot of students will self-report them, and if they self-report them in the application, they are fair game for the colleges to evaluate. And if the student didn't get as much out of that class and the teacher had, issues in terms of trying to fill all that year with the content and they weren't able to get through all the content, the student score is going to suffer. So they're very concerned about how this is going to affect their application process.
So what's going to happen? I mean, some of the colleges have decided to throw out standardized testing where they're not requiring it. So say you were a junior this year and you didn't do so well. Will colleges take that into account and give you basically a mulligan when you start to apply in the fall? Or no?
What we're seeing is, not only this past year did most colleges in the country use a test optional policy. A lot of those colleges have already announced that they are going to be extending their test optional policy. So all the local Philadelphia schools, Penn, Temple, Drexel, Swarthmore, Haverford, even Penn State will have an extended test optional policy. So that's going to benefit those students who weren't able to take the SAT or ACT this year, or frankly, the students who were able to take it but are not happy with their scores. It just means, though, that all the other pieces of the application are going to weigh even more in the admissions process.
That's a good way to put it. So I know that my kid was taking a standardized test for admission into high school, and it was proctored. And so that was very interesting because they had you show everything around your room. They didn't want anything in the room, only a notepad, a couple sheets of paper even, so that there wasn't cheating. Are those testing systems safe, or do you think that there's also cheating when you have those sort of proctored events when people are online proctoring?
Well, we saw with the admission scandal 2 years ago that sometimes the proctors are the ones that are getting paid off and allow that to happen. So, I think the College Board and the ACT have put some things in place, but we just don't know if that is foolproof. We also don't know how foolproof the verification process is with colleges. We are hearing widespread just random testing or random auditing, just like the IRS, when it comes to students' college applications. And so these college admissions offices usually don't have the staffing or time to be able to follow up to make sure every application is authentic. And that means that some students could get away with lying or cheating in their application, but it can come back to them. When I worked at the University of Pennsylvania in the admissions office, we would get anonymous tips every single year. So that idea of cancel culture really began well before social media, because there were anonymous tips coming through about students' applications and them not being true and honest in what they put in that application.
Well, that would make for a good book as well. All right, Sarah, thank you so much. We always appreciate your insight. It's so helpful. Thank you for your time this morning. So kids, don't cheat. It's not worth it. Doesn't pay.
That's right.
Thank you.